right. Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Monday. I'm your meteorologist, Jess Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. But before we go on and get started with that, if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure you go and do so. Also, make sure you go and hit the share button. Share it with all the people that you know. We have just a regular Monday evening forecast to talk about tonight, as there's not really a whole bunch going on, just our regular severe weather that we're going to talk about that's been going on. We're also going to probably talk about the temperature anomalies again, temperatures for the future as well. We weren't really able to talk about that last night, so we'll talk about it today and see how that cool air and when that cool air is going to come into place. Because obviously, that cool down that we talked about, I believe, last week is on the way. So we'll talk about that. Also, we'll talk about some future stuff as well, just for the channel, and obviously what's going on in the future, just in general. But let's go on now, and let's talk with the recorded audience for the people who can unfortunately not be here tonight. Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Monday so far. I am your meteorologist, Jess Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. Now, looking at the radar right now, we do have some isolated shower activity going on over here near Dillon and Lower, South Carolina, also over here near McCormick as well. But overall, that's pretty much it. If we go into the winter weather radar, let's see what's going on throughout the entire United States. We have some rainfall going on in places like the Tennessee Valley, going down to Alabama, Mississippi, as well as Georgia and Florida. We also do have some rainfall with some severe weather going on in Minnesota, Iowa, as well as Missouri, Kansas getting some severe weather, as well as over here in Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. And we have some tornadoes on the ground right now. We actually have, we have two tornado warnings where there are tornadoes on the ground inside of Arkansas. Over here, just to the east of Fort Smith in Charleston, Arkansas, and Ozark, Arkansas, going into Green Forest and Huntsville, Arkansas as well. Those are tornadoes that are going towards those locations as we speak. So they're experiencing that over here while we're over here barely receiving a couple of raindrops pretty much. That rainfall goes up all the way into the Dakotas, into Montana as well. And even as you go up here inside the Pacific Northwest, into Washington and Oregon, rainfall still going on up there. As we go towards our cloud cover right now is actually showing some not so cloudy skies. We do have some low clouds going on in the PD region, right there on the South Carolina, North Carolina border. But overall, that's pretty much it. Everything else is looking pretty much clear. Going into our cloud cover for the future, you see that pretty much what I was saying verifies. As you continue to push this forward, cloud cover continues as you move through. And then as you go into tonight, into early tomorrow morning, you can definitely start to see that cloud cover start to ramp up a lot more. It's going to become a lot more widespread. And as we get into tomorrow evening, don't worry, that cloud cover will still be there, but it will be starting to move off a little bit. It'll be starting to move off a little bit to the east. So, overall, that's what's going on as we go into the next 18 hours or so in terms of cloud cover. As we go into our current temperatures right now, 82 in Columbia, 80 in Eastover, as well as Sumter, 79 in Lake City, as well as 75 in Conway, 77 in Myrtle Beach, as well as 75 in Georgetown, 77 in Allendale, 75 in Somerville, as well as 79 in Charleston, 77 in Walterboro and Hampton, as well as 80 in Allendale, 79 in Aiken, 80 also in Edgefield, 79 in Greenwood, and 77 inside of Chapin. We also do have 77 up there inside of Woodruff and Greenville, as well as 77 in Spartanburg and Gaffney. Going on to your low temperatures for tonight. Low temperatures around 66 in Greenville, 65 in Spartanburg, as well as 65 in Rock Hill, 66 in Shiraz, as well as 66 in Dillon, 69 in Myrtle Beach, 69 in Georgetown, as well as 69 in Moncks Corner, 69 also up there in Aiken, as well as Barnwell, 66 up there in Greenville, 67 in Anderson and Greenwood, 74 in Charleston, and 76 inside of Hilton Head Island. Going into your forecast precipitation for tonight into tomorrow night, from 8 p.m. tonight to 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Overall, 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch for places like Sherrod, Dillon, going into Georgetown, King Street, Orangeburg, Barnwell, Aiken. All of these places, 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch, going through Columbia as well, 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch in Lawrence, Newberry, going into Moncks Corner as well. And then some isolated areas might have around a quarter of an inch to a half an inch as we go into, obviously, tonight, going into tomorrow as well. As we go on now, let's look at the SPC outlook. This was the one that was updated at 2 p.m. Let's see if they have an update for us, which they do. This one definitely has a less of a severe shot. You can see right here, Monday, May the 19th, 2025, tonight. That severe risk is gone. It's only just a thunderstorm risk now. If a shower does get going, it does have the chance to provide some lightning, definitely thunder for sure. And as you move on through the nighttime as well, obviously it will diminish more and more. As you go into tomorrow, the marginal risk of severe weather for Greenville, Spartanburg, Columbia, Rock Hill, as well as Florence and Myrtle Beach. Not including the Low Country and not really including the Southern Midlands as much down there near, like, for example, down there like in Orangeburg, for example, like the northern part of Orangeburg, like the very northern tip. But overall, it's not really anything much there. And this is really just a wind, a hail, and a tornado threat. So all three. And I think the biggest threat of them all definitely will probably be the wind, 40 to 60 mile per hour wind pretty much throughout this entire region. And then the second threat is definitely has to be tornadoes, a 2% chance of tornadoes. So an isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out, as it most likely will be brief and weak, not like the strong tornadoes we've been seeing out to the west of us, so you don't have to worry about that. And then hail is probably the least of our concerns, as not even this entire green area has a chance of hail, cutting off places like Myrtle Beach and Georgetown. But overall, that's a 5% chance of seeing some isolated damaging hail of up to an inch. Small hail is also possible. As you go into Wednesday, May the 21st, May the 21st, and marginal risk of severe weather that pretty much continues everything else. Places like Myrtle Beach, Charleston, Hilton Head Island, and I think all three are potentially possible here as well. If not for South Carolina, then other regions like up there in North Carolina, maybe Virginia, and down there in Georgia as well. But overall, they said all three hazards in the discussion. All three hazards are potentially possible as we go into Wednesday as well, from the Low Country over towards the PD region as well, Grand Strand region. As we go on now, let's go on and look at our excessive rainfall outlook starting off tonight. No excessive rainfall is expected, but if we go into tomorrow, a minor risk of flooding, places like Greenville, Anderson, Greenwood, as well as Rock Hill as well. And then as you go into Wednesday, nothing for Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So we are good in terms of excessive rainfall, but obviously some possible as we go into tomorrow, just some minor flooding. As we go on now, let's look at our models for the future. So looking at them right now, you can see the time is in the top right corner of your screen. Make sure that you go on and look at that as we go into the future. As we go on and push this forward, you can definitely see that some shower and thunderstorm activity is still going on, even as we go into the late night hours as well. Mainly looking at showers and downpours, and as you continue, even look at this, 7 o'clock in the morning, forecasted that a downpour could be going on inside the upstate. And then some scattered shower activity in the upstate, the Low Country, the PD region as well. But definitely the PD, Midlands, and the upstate definitely getting the majority of it. Even as we go into the afternoon and evening hours of tomorrow as well. Still looking at some more rainfall. And then as you continue through, this is the main kind of thing that we're looking at, the main kind of line that we're looking at for May the 21st. You can see as it pushes its way down, this is going to be causing some potential storms, so maybe some severe as we go into late tomorrow night, going into 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning, going in all the way into around 5 o'clock in the morning, and then finally it kind of just dies out, and that's why we kind of don't have that risk of severe weather in this region right here near, like I said, Orangeburg, for example. But as we go into the afternoon hours, on May the 24th, the 21st, there's not really a lot that you're saying here either. So honestly, we just have to wait and see if that moisture gets fired up. Which if it does, obviously the ingredients are there for some severe storms. But right now, it seems like the moisture is actually kind of getting a bit more lenient, a bit more on the lesser side as we go into the 21st, which would obviously be a good thing for no severe weather. not a great thing because we still have a drought in effect, though. So we'll continue to monitor that, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow night. Let's go on and look at our long-term future. So we're going to start off May the 21st at 2 p.m. and we're going to go through like the next 300 to 400 hours. As we go on and push this forward, you can see that overall it stays quiet for a little bit all the way to around the 24th, and then as we get to around the 25th, the 26th, the 27th, even into the 28th and the 29th, some rainfall continues, even as you go into June as well. June the 1st, just a complete soaker in terms of from now going all the way into around June the 4th. Now, how much rain will this bring? Overall, this is the wrong one. We want this one right here. Overall, a good amount. From 2 inches all the way up to 3 inches possible as we go through the next 300 to 400 hours. So definitely some rain is expected. Obviously, as we go through the next 200, 300 hours. And it's going to get more active as we get more into the later portion of May. So the later we get into May, the more active it's going to get. And even as we go into June as well. It's kind of like your early look at June. It's going to be more active there as well. Let's go on now and look at temperature anomalies since we were not able to do so last night. Looking right here. Obviously, it's warmer than average as you continue moving this forward, though. That cold front that's going to impact us on Wednesday is going to come in, and it's going to make everything just cooler than average. It's going to be cooler than average throughout pretty much the entire state all the way through to around like the 28th or so, until finally maybe we start to see a little bit of something on the 29th, a little bit warmer temperatures on the 29th, but as we continue through the 30th, the 31st, still looking like some of that cool air will still be taking effect. But then as we start off June, it will start to get warmer for sure. It will definitely start to get back warmer. Now, how much warmer? Again, this is just kind of a estimate. Obviously, we cannot tell how high it's going to be 300 hours out from now, but I mean, you see some mid-90s out there. And in terms of how cool it can get, down back into the low 80s, and then we might have some low temperatures back into the 50s. So again, we're not done with cool weather type quite yet, and you can even see a 49 up there, up near like the far upstate, like in Oconee County, as you go into around the next 100 hours or so. So we definitely are not done quite yet in terms of cool temperatures, as we still have a couple more days to get through, and then hopefully we can start getting into these warmer temperatures with no more 40s or anything like that. I'm kind of tired of the 40s and the low 50s. I'm ready to get into like the 90s, 60s category, maybe low 60s at the minimum, but then kind of getting into like the mid 90s going up into the high 90s as well. It's just been cool for me for way too long. So, but that's it there. Let's go and look at the crazy score. It's at a 22 right now. Not surprised at all. Slightly breezy or cloudy, but no major concerns. The main reason, or the reasoning for why it's at a 22, is mainly because, it's a low impact night. Overall, only isolated showers remaining. No major hazards are expected. No, I'm not going live tonight. Severe threats are pretty much done with for the night, and everything's going to be pretty much diminishing. But like I said, still isolated showers and downpours are still inside the question for tonight, though. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's go on and see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off with my name, who says, OJ, I'm having a problem. I know earlier, I think your phone died and just would not let me call you back at all. So call me back after this thing is done with, or after I'm done with my forecast for tonight. Terrell says, hi, just hello to you. Miss Oliver says, good evening, just a sprinkle at my house today, not much else going on. My pond still looks pretty good from the rain over a week ago. That is fantastic to hear. If you have any pictures as well, I haven't seen my email in a minute, so if you do, or if you have sent me an email during that time frame, send me one for sure of the pond, though. I want to see what it looks like. That says, good evening. I hope all is well. I am awake today. That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. I know yesterday you were having a bit of a hard time But I'm glad to hear that you're awake tonight and ready I came here for the stream and the forecast tonight. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. And my mom says, 90s. No. I am ready for 90s. I'm tired of winter and a cool spring. I'm ready for those hot temperatures that would almost make you pass out outside at that point. Because honestly, winter felt like so long, and I like warmer temperatures better than cooler, as I do not like cold temperatures at all. That is not my thing. That is not my thing at all. Tomorrow I'll put a poll inside the chat and see. I actually think we actually already did that. I think spring won. I believe spring was the most liked season throughout the chat, if I'm not mistaken, though. But speaking of just hot temperatures in general, let's talk about San Antonio, Raleigh, and Philadelphia. Starting off with San Antonio first. Low temperatures tonight 75. High temperatures tomorrow at 100 degrees. Low temperatures tomorrow night at 72. Overall, no precipitation expected tonight or tomorrow. No severe weather as well. No excessive rainfall as well. None of that is expected. So it's going to be a dry and hot day as you go into tomorrow and probably the next couple of days as well. Even though, there might be that off chance, you never know. Especially as you go into maybe Thursday. As you go into Raleigh, low temperatures tonight 61, high temperatures tomorrow at 83, low temperatures tomorrow at 65. No precipitation is expected tonight or tomorrow, but tomorrow night showers are expected. And then in Philadelphia, the last one, low temperatures tonight 47, high temperatures tomorrow at 71, low temperatures tomorrow night at 55, chance of showers tomorrow night. And so that's it there. Let's go on and talk about severe weather for each location, starting off with Raleigh first. Raleigh does have a marginal risk of severe weather for tomorrow, mainly for wind and hail. 40 to 60 mile per hour winds, some isolated 1 inch in diameter hail is possible, as well as Wednesday, same thing. Maybe a bit more of a tornado threat as well. And then in Philadelphia, no severe weather is expected for you. Inside of Raleigh, though, there is still a marginal risk of excessive rainfall for tomorrow, Tuesday, and then for Philadelphia, there is also a chance for some excessive rainfall for Wednesday as well, and that's pretty much it for those 3 locations right there. If you don't know why we do those 3 locations, just because we have people from those areas that are watching, so that's why we do them. But let's go on now and talk about what's going on throughout the entire United States. Significant severe weather and heavy rainfall is likely from the central and southern plains into the Ozarks today and to tonight. Tornadoes potentially strong to intense, large hail, and damaging winds are possible. Critical fire weather, including gusty winds and low humidity, will continue today over portions of Arizona, New Mexico, and western Texas, and the Central Valley of California. So a lot going on. Even down there, like I said, in California, heat all the way up into like the 100-degree mark. So definitely heat illness is definitely a factor as you go into probably tomorrow. And also some frost about to go on inside of New York and Pennsylvania. But also one more thing before I go on and wrap this up for tonight. Tomorrow, we have another threat for some more severe weather that goes into, I know I said I would update you all on this, but this is on Tuesday. Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, as well as Mississippi and Georgia. If you know anybody inside those regions, let them know. Severe weather is coming for them tomorrow. Now, where exactly we'll be at, we don't know, but we know for sure wind's going to be the most dangerous threat, especially as you go into the eastern Tennessee, northern Alabama, and Georgia, as well as eastern Kentucky as well. And obviously you can see that stretched all the way into South Carolina as well. But I just wanted to say one thing on that real quick, and that was all I wanted to say there. So hopefully everyone enjoyed the forecast tonight. Let me check out the chat one more time, see if we have anything else. And I think that is about it. I'll be here for about like another 5 minutes to check and see, if we have any more comments or anything like that. Make sure that you are here on June the 1st. I know it's a bit of a long way away, but June the 1st, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. We're going to be talking about the week forecast for June the 1st going into June the 7th. We're also going to be talking about the month of June, obviously the monthly forecast. We're going to be talking about the the season of summer, and then we're also going to be talking about hurricane season as well. So June the 1st, that's going to be probably one of the most packed nights I think I've ever done on the channel. Unless snow may outdo it, maybe one of the snow forecasts may outdo it, but I don't know. But we'll just see what happens. But that's on June the 1st. Anyways, that's going to wrap this up. I will be back tomorrow morning with your Tuesday morning forecast update. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Monday.